Have you ever felt like your phone or your favorite streaming app can just read your mind? Well, that's not magic, it's machine learning. It's this powerhouse technology that's quietly reshaping our world. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how it all works.
So let's start by looking at a few places where you've absolutely seen this tech in action, even if you didn't know what it was called.
You know the feeling, right? You finish a series and boom, a new recommendation pops up that's just a perfect match. How does it do that? Well, Netflix isn't just guessing. It's looking at patterns in what you've watched and comparing it to what millions of other people have watched to make a seriously accurate prediction.
Or think about this, a quick glance and your phone just opens. And it works in the dark, it works when you're wearing glasses. It has learned to recognize you, the one-of-a-kind patterns of your face, out of billions of people on the planet.
And what about your email? Every single day, your inbox is being shielded from a tidal wave of junk mail. That's a huge, automated sorting job that's happening behind the scenes, and it's constantly learning new tricks from spammers to get even better at its job.
So here's the key. These amazing things aren't happening because someone sat down and wrote millions of specific if this, then that rules for every possible situation. The secret ingredient behind all of it is machine learning.
Okay, so now that we've seen what it can do, let's get down to it and define what machine learning actually is.
At its heart, it's really all about teaching computers to learn from experience, pretty much just like we do. So instead of giving it a strict set of instructions, we give it a bunch of data and let it start to figure things out for itself. And this is the perfect way to think about it. You didn't learn what a dog was by reading a rule book that said, has 4 legs, a tail, and barks. No way. You just saw lots and lots of different dogs. Big ones, small ones, fluffy ones, loud ones, and your brain just learned to recognize the pattern. Well, machines are learning in a very similar way, tweaking their own logic with every new example they see. And this ability to learn from examples, it's a total game changer in how we build software. It's a fundamentally different way of doing things compared to traditional programming. So let's put them side by side, because seeing the contrast is really what makes this so revolutionary.
All right, now this slide right here, this is the key to the whole thing. Notice how it's completely flipped? In traditional programming, a person writes the rules, feeds in data, and the computer gives you answers. But with machine learning, we flip the script. We give the computer the data and the answers, like thousands of pictures of cats that are all labeled cat, and the computer's output is the rules. It literally figures out and writes its own logic for what makes a cat a cat.
And this means that the quality of your data is everything. I mean, absolutely everything. Since the machine is only learning from the examples you give it, if that data is messy or incomplete or biased, well, the rules it comes up with are going to be flawed. It's the ultimate example of garbage in, garbage out.
So, why is this flip so powerful? Why is it changing everything? Let's break down the unique advantages that machine learning brings to the table.
First off, scale. It can sift through massive amounts of data that no human team could ever hope to analyze. Second, it can automate incredibly complex and repetitive tasks, like that spam filter, doing the work of a whole army of people. It also lets us solve problems where it would be impossible to even write the rules in the first place. I mean, could you write down the rules for recognizing a face? And maybe the coolest part, it gets better over time. The more data it sees, the more it refines its own rules, and the smarter it gets.
And because of these superpowers, you're seeing machine learning pop up in pretty much every industry you can think of. In finance, it's spotting fraud in real time. In healthcare, it's helping doctors find diseases in medical scans way earlier than the human eye can. And in transportation, well, it's the brain behind self-driving cars.
Which brings us right back to where we started. The reason your digital life feels so customized just for you is that machine learning models are constantly learning from your behavior to personalize your experience, creating those unique movie recommendations and custom-built social feeds.
Now, as this incredible technology gets woven deeper and deeper into our society, it's also really important that we understand the new challenges and responsibilities that come along with it.
First up is data bias. If the data you train a model with is unfair or skewed, the model's decisions will be unfair and skewed too. It's only as good as what it learns from. Then, of course, there's privacy. Your face, your viewing history, that's powerful data. So a huge challenge is figuring out how to use it effectively while keeping it totally secure. And finally, there's this idea of explainability. Sometimes these models get so complex they become a black box. A system might flag a transaction as fraud, but it can be really hard to know exactly why it made that call. Making those decisions transparent is a huge area of research right now.
So we're left with a really fascinating thought to chew on. Machine learning is all about recognizing patterns and making predictions at a massive scale. As we hand more and more of these tasks over to machines that can learn and adapt all by themselves, the big question for us becomes what skills, what knowledge, and what kind of thinking will be the most valuable for humans to focus on in this